Hey, you guys! Happy Masculine Mondays! I am Regal Essence. I am Queen TV. I'm Queen TV After Dark. I'm life as a love goddess. I'm life as a laid back mom. I'm your ray of sunshine in the afternoon time. I'm your crystal healer and dealer. And I'm your past life princess. So, you guys, today we going to get into some past life stuff. We're going to dig a little deep today. Because I kind of touched on it a little bit last week, but we're going to come back around to it. And I want to talk to you guys about soul contracts, right? So, soul contracts oftentimes have a lot to do with our past life, right? And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how your past life affects your present lifetime as it relates to your relationships. Now, y'all know I'm here to shorten the gap between male and female relationships. One of the reasons why I'm here, right? So, oftentimes you hear men say that like they don't understand women, like men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and we walk around with this deficit in our ability to understand each other. But I feel as though that is just an illusion because we all encompass feminine and masculine energy. So how is it that you say that you can't understand something that essentially is like a part of you, right? It's just an illusion. So today I want to talk a little bit about soul contracts, right? And the purpose is to kind of help us understand a little bit better why it is that our relationships turn out the way that they do, to help you guys be able to come to certain levels of closure about relationships that may not have worked out, especially some of the most difficult relationships, okay? So, when we come into this incarnation, we have already agreed to certain um, soul contracts, right? So there's a few there's three different types of soul contracts. So you have a twin flame contract, you have a karmic contract, and you have soulmate contracts. Oftentimes, our karmic relationships are the most hurtful. I don't know why my nose is itchy, y'all. They're oftentimes some of the most hurtful relationships, right? And the reason being is that our karmic relationships are here to highlight something within us that we need to, that we still are tied to, that is painful. It highlights certain things within ourselves that need to be healed. And it also allows for us to pay off karmic debt, right? And you can think of karmic debt as basically a debt that you have to pay for something that you may have done wrong in a past life. And you don't always pay your karmic debt within that particular lifetime. You may still be paying karmic debt from a previous lifetime. So sometimes that's why it is that certain relationships play out the way that they do. Our karmic relationships are here to highlight something within us that needs to be healed and allow our soul to evolve. Okay? So, the thing is, like, sometimes they're very difficult. And then, even within our karmic relationships, there are black widow relationships, right? Within our karmic relationships. And those relationships basically have something to do with someone that has been allowed or contracted into our lives, and their main goal is to affect your bloodline, right? So they're deadly, right? So black widows are killer spiders, basically. And if you consider your bloodline, in order to wipe out a bloodline or something of that nature, it would require you being no longer in existence, right? They off you. So, karmic relationships are tough. Black widow relationships are even tougher. And a lot of times, black widows are engraved within our families. That's what makes it hard for us to be able to break the cycles of those relationships, because they're oftentimes tied to somebody else in the family. It's your cousin, your mother, your cousin's best friend, your brother's best friend, or something of that nature. Maybe a step a step step brother or something of that nature. So it makes it very hard to kind of just like cut off the relationship, right? So, karmic relationships are here to teach us a lesson. So, oftentimes we may go through situations with people in relationships and we don't necessarily understand why the relationship ended the way that it did, why things were so painful, how this person could just be so cold hearted, right? But I want to highlight today that we have agreed to go into certain situations, and those situations are to highlight things within us that need to be healed. So when we find that we are in relationships and when we come out of the relationship, we're going to talk about the positive part. When we come out of the relationship, we have a greater sense of self-love. We have decided that, you know what, I'm no longer going to be X, Y, and Z. I'm no longer going to be a pushover. I'm no longer going to be a people pleaser. I'm no longer going to be in relationships and not have healthy boundaries. I'm no longer going to be in a relationship that I deny myself versus loving myself first. Those are some of the main concepts that our karmic relationships teach us, right? So oftentimes, if you get into a relationship and you don't understand how it is that that person can treat you the way that they did, put you through the things that they put you through, hurt you in the way that they hurt you, it's oftentimes that you have some type of karmic contract with this particular person, and they're actually here to highlight something within you that needs to be healed. Okay? So that is why at times our relationships look so tumultuous, because we can have soul contracts with people in our family. It's not just romantic relationships. And oftentimes people may have played a totally different role within our past life than they do in this lifetime, right? So oftentimes I don't believe that men realize that, and this is kind of touchy, but y'all know I'm gonna go here. Oftentimes we don't realize that our mothers may have been a black widow. Our mothers may have been a karmic partner. Our mother may have been somebody that we dealt with in a past life, and in the relationship obviously was not that healthy, and we have to heal a certain aspect of ourselves in this particular lifetime, and that is why that person is being used. Hold on, y'all, I need to move. I need some more light. Let me see. This is getting a little dark. So yeah, you guys, so that is why a lot of times our relationships, the ones that end really painfully, those are our karmic relationships. Our soulmate relationships typically are to be loving relationships. They will build us up. They will be nurturing, because they're not necessarily here to teach us a lesson. They're not necessarily a part of our lives to highlight something within us that needs to be healed, okay? So that is how we can oftentimes understand and gain certain levels of closure when relationships end the way that they do.